What's going on, Paisanos? V here, coming at you, well, with another market watch today. A little bit of a change of scenery, still moving everything around, get everything cleaned up, but I like to move things up and change things around. If everything stays the same and stays stale, then that's not no bueno. Listen, why don't you go over ahead and check out my website, YGOPaisano.com. If you buy a field center, you have the option to go ahead and purchase an NFC tag to your field center, making it a programmable smart field center that works with your phone. I had a video on the channel about that as well, in case you want to check that out. We also have a lot of tokens, Right Arm Azir tokens, Sky Striker tokens, Sword Soul tokens, if you're into that kind of thing. All kinds of cool stuff. Once again, why don't you go make sure to head over to YGOPaisano.com. All right. Power the Elements is going to be a big deal. The last time we saw a set this big that I can remember that I feel like had this amount of impact was in, let's see, Maximum Crisis. When Maximum Crisis debuted, it came out with both Dracos and cards like Zodiac Chakanine, which was a big deal for Zoo players. Now, listen, I think that Power the Elements, I don't know if it's going to be on the same level as Maximum Crisis, where it also debuted as Blossom Joy Spring and a lot of other fun stuff. But it's definitely going to be a set that Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are going to want to buy into. Now, should you go ahead and buy cases and cases and cases and cases? No. To be honest with you, I don't think that's the right way to do things. I think buying a lot of buying a lot of Power the Elements may not be a big deal because you're not guaranteed to get an Ash Blossom Joy Spring. Which, by the way, like for me, I think in my case I got 4 of those, so it is what it is. It's not bad now thinking about it, but back then it was whatever. Power the Elements is going to have Tearlaments, it's going to have Splites, and these decks out the box are going to be playable and meta relevant. A lot of you can players over there understand the fact that these decks are going to be massive in our game and change the way we play the game. Let's also not forget the fact that we're also due for a ban list, so that's also pretty important as well. Legendary Duelist Season 3 boxes also have Magician Souls, which is an insanely nice card, and of course the price points are now starting to go up actually. When we last saw Magician Souls, the price point of these cards were going down, but now we're seeing them slowly starting to rise up as Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are wanting to play decks like Adventure Punks, in which you need Magician Souls in. It's also just a really good card for a lot of decks in the game. Now here's the question. With the ban list coming out, with the release of Power of the Elements, will Magician Souls actually still see play? Well, we don't know. But it's a gamble. There's a chance it does see play and the price obviously rises in value. And there's a chance it doesn't see play and the price just kind of flops in value. Me personally, even though I like this card a lot, I don't think buying it at 32 makes any sense at all right now. I do think in time the card will be worth it, but at times not now. Alright, we also have Maurices. There's no doubt in my mind that Maurices is not only a good deck right now, but for me, almost like DDDs, where Maurices is really good for now, but in time, will it be really good? Probably not. With that said, Maurices is still a really good deck right now. And a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players don't know how to play around this. Cards like Maurices Blue Tang, which we talked about when it was roughly around $5, has went up exponentially in value. As we're filming out this video, Maurices Blue Tang Unlimited lightly played to roughly around $13 to $14. And if you want to go ahead and get yourself a first edition version of this card, that's going to run you roughly around $16. Now that's only Blue Tang. Now if you want to go ahead and see something like Maurices, another Maurices card, Pascalis is $7.50, a super rare out of Initial Assault. And you still have other cards like Cora and Emily, which is $15. Yes, this also has a lot of reprints, but not, you know, not Dive, which obviously recently debuted in Legendary Duelist from the Deep. So it is good, but is it worth it? If you have it, cool, play it. If you don't have it, is it worth it? I don't know. Should you sell it? Maybe. Avalanches, the Bishop Dragon Solid Rare, went up as high as $120. Looking at the card right now, Dimension Force, this card has tanked in value. In fact, the pre-sale price has held this card at $250. Looking at it right now, as I'm filming this video, it's roughly around $113 for this card. So $113 for this card. Do you go ahead and buy it now? Me personally, I'm still waiting. It was recently at $80. I do think it's going to go back down to $80 in the future. Salesman's a card everyone tells me about. You ever had this one card out of one set that everyone swears is the best card in the game, but for the life of you, you just don't care about it because you see that it's not that. You just feel like it's not a good card? That to me is sales ban. Now everyone will go, V, it's better than Prohibition. Cool. When was the last time Prohibition was played in mass by the current Yu-Gi-Oh! Player base? It wasn't. Look at that sales ban out of Battle of Chaos. The price of this card has tanked. Value of the card's roughly around $3, not including shipping. And I mean, listen, go back 6 months. The card was at $8. Go back a year, it pre-sold for $28. Is it worth it? No. Sorry. I'm not gonna lie to you though. I do think this card is at a good price point. I think $3 is a fair price for this card. For a 10 spot, getting a placeless card might not be that bad of an investment. But it's not a good idea to go ahead and grab this card and then convince yourselves and others that it is a good card. This card has no utility in the game at the moment. And of course, you don't want to get a card with that where you have utility or go up in value. I get it. But listen, there's just better cards in the game. Sorry, it just is. Celine, Queen of the Master Magicians, has been just insanely high in value. I mean, this card right now is roughly around $37 a copy. Is it worth it? Yes. No matter what deck you play, Axial Talker product is going to be the boss monster in your extract, ideally. Celine obviously is one of those cards to help you accelerate that, as well as Crystal Needle Fiber. Now, luckily, Needle Fiber got a reprint as an ultra rare, so it's relatively cheap. Celine, Queen of Master Magicians, did not get that reprint, so it's money. That's going to be a hard one to buy if you don't own it already. This might actually be a good card. I was actually playing at the Remote Duel event this past weekend, and someone mentioned this, and I thought it was a really good idea. Even though I was like half asleep, I still said, yeah, it's pretty cool. Nadir's Servant isn't like how it is in the OCG. I think it actually has and could potentially be used here in the TCG. Think about it. Tournament players, why not run Nadir's Servant? Activate Nadir's Servant, start getting a subsidiary engine on board. With that subsidiary engine, Nadir's Servant is just a better card at the end of your full combo. Because, once again, Telements go full combo, and they're just activating Nadir's Servant. I mean, that's pretty good. Make a misplay, activate Nadir's Servant. Going Winda against the current game state is insanely good. In fact, I would recommend everybody right now, if you don't have your Windas, if you don't have any of your stuff, like Shadow Schisms, get those cards. Because everyone's going to be wanting to play those in tier limits. So with that card being played in tier limits, I think we can all agree that it's really good if you go first against a deck like, I don't know, Splites. Do that against Splites, you kind of win the game. Pretty cool, right? Alright. The value of this card right now, Secret Rare, is roughly around $16 and near $17. Now, Nadir's Servant did get a reprint, and the reprinted version is at $4 for the Ultra Rare. This is one of the very few cases where I'll recommend buy the Ultra Rare before people realize that this has potential. Ultra Rare version of this card is roughly around anywhere from $3 to $4 to $5 a copy, and to be honest with you, you just need 2. That is, of course, if Konami hits us on ban list, then don't worry about it. Rika Teardrop needs to calm down. Yes, this card doesn't have any reprints, and I get it. This card not having any reprints is the reason why it's currently roughly around $24, $25 with shipping. I get that. The card recently spiked over to $60 when 2 Yu-Gi-Oh! Players made top 4 at a California Yu-Gi-Oh! Regionals. Those regionals are massive. They are insanely huge, and 2 Yu-Gi-Oh! Players top. So I understand why Rika went out for a very short amount of time, and that's when it did. Then when the deck started not showing play, it started falling and falling and falling, and I was just trying to stabilize. Will it? I don't know. We also have Magician's Combination at Legendary Duelist Magical Hero. The once again, relatively new. This card's roughly around $4 to $5. $4 to $5. So if you have this card in this set, yeah, you have money. You might want to sell it. It's free $4 to $5. I don't know who wants it, but then again, it does have cool artwork maybe? I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. Alright, is Mathmech going to be a good deck? Well, with the power of the elements, Mathmech actually might be a good deck, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are slowly starting to go in and grab Mathmech cards. Cards like Prime Mathmech Alamerchian is $42. I mean, that card, market price is roughly around $29 to give you an instance of the valuation of how much it increased. Prime Mathmech Laplacian is roughly around $7. And yes, they do have reprints, and yes, they are cheaper, but the higher rarity ones will cost you a lot more if you want it. We also have Millenniums that are strict. Now, this card has been getting cleaned off the market fast, like super fast. Ultra version of Millenniums that are strict from Legendary Duelist H Millenniums is roughly around $45. Market price has that at $35. And then we have the Secret. This is the one I actually currently own. Secret version of this card has spiked insanely high, with roughly around $17 to $18 market price. Well, previous market price. The current price of this card is roughly around $38. After that one sold, this guy owns 13 of them, at around $40 a copy. So you just need one of these. This card may be a tech choice, but then again, to be honest with you, if you open Instant Fusion, you go this card, whatever hand trust your opponent has, it's kind of done, and they get to go full combo. And this is something I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Players are just seeing. They're saying, hey, listen, if I can saw my opponent's random card, I get to go full combo. Pretty good. Obviously, other cards like Cross-Out Designated might be needed as well. And we'll talk about Cross-Out Designated in another video, because I think that card needs its own video to really break it down. In my personal opinion, I think Cross the Destiny is going to be rising in value. Potentially because of the banlist hits. Potentially because you can players realize if I resolve my Cross the Destiny and I'm blocking my opponents activating a card, well, I'm in a good spot. Players are going so crazy to do this, they're actually getting Millenniums actually strict in order to do this, which obviously tells you how badly players need to get a negate on board for a hand trap so they can go ahead and run that full combo. So this should be an indication of that kind of play. Listen, Spirit Mode's a card if you don't have, you need to pick up. Obviously, Spirit Mode, Dual Power Ultra is a 7s, Circuit Breaks are 9s, and Duelist Pack Battle Cities, they're roughly around $10. Obviously, you have Ghost Rare Spirit Modes, which are roughly around, I believe, at the filming of this video, around $55 roughly. And it's not a bad price when you realize the fact that this card actually might start seeing play. Yes, Dark Rule No More is good. Yes, Forbidden Drop is good. But you know what Spirit Mode says? Spirit Mode says, break your board, do it again. And that's pretty insane. If one has a hand trap after you Dark Rule No More them, you're in a really bad spot. Because yes, they can't activate effects, but if you didn't clear those monsters, they could do it the following turn. So, problem is still there. You just stop the board state. But if, once again, you get hit with an Ash and you pass, that's going to hurt a lot. Alright, then we have Ghost in the Past. Now, Ghost in the Past, the first version of the set, just shows you how badly Konami, I don't know, this is something I've been noticing a lot lately. Konami just takes like shovel and goes, you like Ghost Rares? And throws them in a set and goes, buy this. And they've been doing this a lot lately. And we've been noticing this in subsets, not just Ghost in the Past where they released a bunch of Ghost Rares, but other subsets that Ghost Rares have pretty much went down in value. Well, why? What's going to happen, V? Is probably the question everyone's asking. Simple. Really simple. They're only down in value temporarily. Now, I'm going to say that, and I want to emphasize that, because these sets are still relatively new. As time goes away, and I'm talking years, if you're investing into these, you're doing it because you're in for years, not months, not 1 year, maybe not even 2 years, years, and there is potential value in this set. And I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players kind of realize that they're the ones that already bought in are holding this. Those that bought in are selling this and trading these, well, it's not really that much better of a commodity. If you do it in the short term, we can just go over the fact that Dark Magician used to be $660, and now it's down to $500. Blue Alternative White Dragon used to be $235, now it's down to $175. So, once again, is it worth it to get these now? I'm not a big fan of it, but at the same time, I understand if you do have these, hold these if you want to actually make money with this. Does that make any sense, hopefully? Hopefully I'm picking up what I'm throwing down. Listen, like I said, make sure to go check out my website, YGOPaisano.com. I have amazing field centers. I have amazing tokens. They're all roughly, if you ever own a Collector's Rare or CR, they feel like that CR, Collector's Rare rarity. We have black editions. We have NFC tags that go on your back of your field center that allows you to program your field center to your phone. So you can open your Neuron app. A lot of cool stuff on this website. I definitely recommend you check it out. Once again, YGOPaisano.com. Free shipping on orders over $25. Absolutely gorgeous website. So go ahead and check it out. Everybody, listen. The channel is starting to get back a flow, and I kind of like what we're doing here. We're starting to get a good flow again. It's starting to feel, it feels good making videos and getting back to where I was. I know I slowed down the past couple of months, but I'm really starting to get things back in the gear. And I'm also looking to add more onto it. I'm looking to start streaming again. I'm looking, when I go to my physical locals, to bring you with me on my streams on Twitch TV, YGO_Paisano. And I greatly recommend you go ahead and click the link down below. Get that channel a follow, because we're about to do some IRL streams, hopefully. I'm trying to get another camera to do this in, but I'm definitely trying to get some things going, because I'm really excited about just playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And going on this journey, and there's a lot of cool things happening, especially with Power Elements coming out next month. I will be playing Tier Limits. I will be playing Splites. Is one of my favorite deck? I don't know. We're going to figure out together what's better, what do we like, what do we don't like, and why. So definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit the like button. Check out YGOPaisano.com. It's your boy V, and you Paisanos. You Paisanos have a great day.